life processes. So here, out of this chapter for the CBSE students, how you are going to prepare. So let's have a quick look. So here, those who are preparing for the chapter, as all of you are familiar, like for CBSE, it is very important to focus on complete chapter rather than just simply looking with the question answers or solving with the in-text questions exercise. That is not at all sufficient. So CBSE students, I suggest that whenever you are preparing any chapter, go through with the chapter fully. So here in this lesson, out of this first page, nothing so important to revise. So you can skip out the first page. From the second page, here few definitions like how we are getting energy. So in the first paragraph, what is why this life process is important? The process which together and perform maintenance job are called life processes. So what are maintenance jobs? So here, to maintain the life, we need circulation, respiration. In the previous page, all those examples are there. If you come across, so here the different processes like the different processes like movement, excretion, digestion, respiration, all those are important. So those are all together are called life processes. Then this page only for reading purpose is sufficient. So let's have a quick revision of this last paragraph. When chemical reaction use the carbon source and oxygen for energy generation, they create byproduct. So here they create byproduct that are not only used for the cells of the body but could even be harmful. These waste byproducts are therefore needed to be removed from the body and discarded outside by the process called excretion. So here stepwise they explained all the processes, like what are the different life processes. So here the different processes which are important for survival of the organism are called life processes. So one by one process they explained. If it is a unicellular organism, that is in this here in this paragraph it is explained. If it is a unicellular organism, only the process of diffusion is sufficient. So what is diffusion? For the process of diffusion, they will like whatever the concentration is more, from there it will move to the low concentration. Suppose waste is more inside the body compared to outside, from the body it will be moving outside. If the nutrient is more outside, from outside it will enter inside. Mostly like in amoeba or the unicellular organism, we come across this mechanism of diffusion. So yeah, all these pages you can skip out. Let's have a quick revision of first in-text question. Why is diffusion insufficient to meet the oxygen requirement of multicellular organism like human? So here the energy requirement of multicellular organism like human beings is high compared to other. So as the energy requirement is more, thus each and every cell has to perform the activity of energy generation. That is, oxidation of food is done by each and every cell. So thus the diffusion is not sufficient. Diffusion we come across only with the unicellular organism. If the organism is very small, by the process of diffusion, they can complete out the process of generating energy. So as organism is small, they will get the nutrient inside and they excrete the waste. So in that way, they can complete out with the process of energy generation. But when we come across multicellular organism like human beings, our energy requirement is very high compared to other organism. So diffusion is insufficient. There we need to undergo oxidation of food. So thus to generate energy, complex mechanism is needed. What criteria do we use to decide whether something is alive? So generally something is alive, we recognize by locomotion, but locomotion only is not sufficient. Along with locomotion, other life processes are carried or not, that to be noticed. Now, what are the outside raw material used by used for by an organism? So outside raw material, what we are using, it is oxygen, carbon dioxide is used by plant, then water, food. So depending on the organism, different kind of raw materials are used. Now, what process would you consider essential for maintaining life? So here, for maintaining life, life processes are essential. From here onwards, important topics are starting. So what is nutrition? You need to prepare definition properly. Nutrition is a process by which organism will take in essential things for the survival. So yeah, nutrition is a process of getting in food. How do living things get their food? So yeah, different mechanisms are there. The general requirement for energy and material is common in all organisms but is fulfilled in different ways. Some organisms use simple food material obtained from inorganic sources in the form of carbon dioxide and water. So here some organisms are using carbon dioxide and water so that they can generate food. That is nothing but plants. So plants take carbon dioxide, water in presence of sunlight and chlorophyll. They synthesize carbohydrate type of food. So that is autotrophic nutrition. Some plants and bacteria. Example of bacteria, blue-green algae, so which is having chlorophyll, which can synthesize its food. Even some cyanobacteria are there, which can synthesize their food, that you need to remember for CBSE. And then when we compare the organisms, there are two kinds of organisms. One is autotrophic, other is heterotrophic. So here, even the nutrition is also of two types. Autotrophic nutrition, where the organism can synthesize its food. So here, organism is synthesizing its food by using the raw materials like carbon dioxide and water, sunlight and chlorophyll to synthesize carbohydrate type of food. So as they are synthesizing their own food by themselves, so they come under the category of autotrophs, and the mode of nutrition is called autotrophic mode of nutrition. Auto means self. Tropic, they are preparing self nutrition. So this is autotrophic nutrition. Now the next category is heterotrophic. So when we come across autotrophic, this part is very important for exam point of view. You need to memorize equation very perfectly. This is the equation of photosynthesis. 6 molecules of carbon dioxide will react with 12 molecules of water in presence of chlorophyll and sunlight to give C6H12O6 plus 6O2 plus 6 water. So here 6 carbon dioxide molecules are reacting with 12 molecules of water to generate 1 glucose, 6 molecules of oxygen and 6 molecules of water. So here, what are the different steps for photosynthesis? How the photosynthesis is being carried out? These 3 steps are also very important for CBSE point of view. So here the photosynthesis starts in the following way, or they are the events of the photosynthesis. The first one is absorption of light energy by chlorophyll. So when the sunlight falls on chlorophyll, light energy is absorbed. Once again repeating, absorption of light energy by chlorophyll. Second one, conversion of light energy to chemical energy. Once the light energy is absorbed, it will convert that light energy to chemical energy. And splitting of water molecule is also taking place. So here, as we saw the reaction, there carbon dioxide is added with water. So what is happening to this water? This water will split out. That splitting is called photo. Um, hmm. So here, conversion of the light energy to chemical energy. The first one is light energy is being converted into chemical energy. Then photolysis of water is taking place. Photo means in presence of light. Lysis means breakdown. Water is being broken down into hydrogen and oxygen. As there is breakdown of water, we call it as photolysis. Why the word photo is used? Because it is taking place in presence of light. In presence of light. So we call it as photo. And the second one, lysis. It is being broken down. Water will split into hydrogen and oxygen. Here you can get one MCQ, which is very important. What is the source of oxygen during photosynthesis? And students very often make mistake here. They write carbon dioxide. Okay, generally what we think, carbon dioxide is being converted into oxygen by the process of photosynthesis. But it is completely wrong. Source of oxygen is water. As water is being broken down. So lysis of water is done to form hydrogen and oxygen. So we call it as photolysis of water. So the first event is absorption of light energy by the chlorophyll. Second event, where splitting of water molecule and light energy is converting into chemical energy. Now the next one, third event here, third event is reduction of carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is being reduced. So reduced, here you can see carbon dioxide in the equation, you can see carbon dioxide got converted into 6 carbon dioxide was there, that converted into glucose. Glucose formula C6H12O6. So the hydrogen, here the reduction is being done. Why we call it as reduction? Because the number of oxygen atom is being reduced here. There 12 oxygen were there, where in the glucose only 6 oxygen is there. Decrease in the number of oxygen is called reduction. So here the oxygen is reduced. So these are the 3 events which are very important. You need to memorize properly. The first one is reaction to be done, then the 3 events. Then coming to the next one. So here the structure of leaf is given. This is also very important diagram. In CBSE they ask for the labeling. So you can see leaf is having 2 layers. The upper layer is called upper epidermis and the lower one is called lower epidermis. Upper epidermis and lower epidermis. Then on the upper epidermis there is a waxy layer. You can see here waxy layer is there, waxy cuticle. What is the function of cuticle? Cuticle, it prevents the leaf from bacterial infection, and moreover transpiration can be avoided, or if water is falling on that, the leaf will not get spoiled. So these are the function of cuticle. Now the leaf is having 2 parts. The bigger, so here the chloroplast is there. You can see that rectangular box. That rectangular box is called palisade tissue. So this is a palisade tissue. Inside the palisade tissue, we are having chloroplast. Now this chloroplast contains chlorophyll. See here, this is the organelle. Chloroplast contains chlorophyll. And chlorophyll is the chemical which is important for the photosynthesis. So here they can ask like, what is the pigment necessary for photosynthesis? That is chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is present in chloroplast. And in the lower epidermis, we are having stomata. You can see this small opening in the bottom. So this is stomatal opening which is guarded by guard cell. Stomata is being guarded by guard cell. So this cross section properly to be revised, they can ask for labeling. The next one, here out of this, whatever the things being generated in the light phase or in presence of light, that we got carbon product that is immediately used up during night, which is light dark phase. So here in the book it is not given in detail. You need not to worry about that. Only these 3 points are important to be memorized. Now let's continue with that. These steps need not to take place one after other immediately. For example, here they can ask this question. For example, desert plant take up carbon dioxide at night and prepare an intermediate which is acted upon by the energy absorbed by chlorophyll during the day. They can ask like, why the desert plant take carbon dioxide only during night? So here answer for that, as they are desert plants, so they are in deficient of water. So there is scarcity of water in desert. So desert plant, as there is scarcity of water, they need to get water from outside sources. So here they are absorbing water from the soil where there is very less amount of water present. If their stomata will keep on open, the water which they absorbed will get transpirated. Okay, it will undergo transpiration and water will be lost. To avoid that, now the stomata has to be closed. So during the daytime, they keep their stomata closed, and then to avoid transpiration, as the stomata are closed during daytime, thus they keep it open during night. In daytime, the 2 reasons are there. As there is more sun, more chances of getting transpiration. So high rate of transpiration can be done. To avoid that, they keep their stomata closed during night, during day. So thus, the maximum carbon dioxide is taken during night only. So those who are attending, they can mark out this paragraph, why the desert plant take carbon dioxide mostly at the night. The next one, so let us see how the components. So already we did about the different like components for the photosynthesis. Chlorophyll is needed, carbon dioxide is needed, sunlight is important, water is important. For that the different activities are given. Once you need to go through with that, how the different components are important. And moreover, that cross section of the leaf which I explained, that is also one of the important topic. So if you carefully observe the cross section of the leaf under the microscope, you will notice that some cell contains green dots. So these green dots are cell organelles called chloroplast, which contains chlorophyll. So chlorophyll is present in chloroplast. And then let us do an activity to demonstrate chlorophyll is essential. So here all these activities, once you go through with that, so sometimes they can make questions like how you can prove that chlorophyll is important. So generally in CBSE we doesn't get this kind of questions, as we have subdivision of questions, but it's better to revise it once. Now this question is also very important for labeling. You need to practice out all the diagrams. They will give you diagram, only labeling to be memorized. So memorize the labeling diagrams. Stomata opening and closing is important. So here stomata, it is a bean-like structure. So two guard cells are there which are of bean-shaped. Bean-shaped guard cells are there. They are surrounded by auxiliary cells. So if you can see here, green flower-like structure you can come across. So this flowery structure is called auxiliary cells, and bean-shaped cells which are yellow in color are called guard cells. In the guard cells, there are chloroplast which contains chlorophyll. So here, when there is what, like if suppose water is absorbed from the root, that water by diffusion will pass out to the higher parts. Once if water will reach to this guard cell will become swell. So they will swell up, turgid, fatty. So once they will swell, they will open. So this opening, which is noted as stomatal opening, you can see the dark green color stomatal opening. So once the guard cell will become turgid, that is fatty, thick, when they are filled with water, they automatically open. So which, when the stomata opens, now the stomata got opened. So it is a path for water to evaporate. So whatever the water got up, up to the leaves from the root, now they will undergo transpiration. So what is transpiration? Transpiration is a process where excess water is removed from the aerial part of the plant. So here excess water is removed. Now once water is removed, you can come across in the second diagram where the guard cells will become shrink. So before they were turgid, before they were very fatty, which made the stomata to open. Once if water is lost, they will shrink, they will become tighten. So once they will shrink, they will make the stomatal pore to close. Thus the stomata will close up. So this is how the stomata opens and closes. So this is also one of the important question. So you need to prepare from here. So once you can mark out like tiny pores present on from here after figure 5.3. You need to write from tiny pores. Tiny pores present on the surface of the leaves. Massive amount of gaseous exchange take place in the leaves through these pores for the purpose of photosynthesis. But it is important to note here the exchange of gases occur across the surface of stem, leaves and roots as well. Since large amount of water can also be lost through the stomata, the plant closes these pores when it does not need carbon dioxide for photosynthesis. Here it is not given. So, okay, you can skip out all those. Answer is starting from here. The opening and closing of the pore is the function of guard cells. So, from here onwards, you need to write opening and closing of the stomata is the function of the guard cells. The guard cells swell up when water flows into them, causing the stomata pore to open. So when water is entering into the guard cell, it will swell and it will make the stomata to open. And similarly, these pores will close if the guard cell will shrink. You can write in your own words. So here, CBSE concentrates more on the concept clearance. So if you have your concept very perfect, you can write your own answers with much more perfectness. Now the second activity to demonstrate that carbon dioxide is essential. So here you can remember one of the important topic. This watch glass contains potassium hydroxide. Potassium hydroxide which absorbs carbon dioxide present in the bell jar. They can make one mark question. Name the chemical which absorbs carbon dioxide. So here potassium hydroxide. Now the next one, Heterotrophic nutrition, already we completed discussed heterotrophic, where the organism is unable to prepare its food. So if the organism is not able to make its food by its own, if it is depending on autotrophs, we call it as heterotroph. So here heterotrophic is a mode of nutrition where the organism is unable to prepare its food. Now, in heterotrophic organisms, we come across the first one is holozoic mode of nutrition. So here, holozoic mode of nutrition, it's the amoeba. So what you need to write in amoeba? 5 simple points you can remember for the nutrition in amoeba. Easily you can make your answer. Amoeba is a unicellular organism. So all of you already know, those who are attending, amoeba is a unicellular organism. So uni means single cell. Amoeba is a unicellular organism. It obtained its food by phagocytosis. So what is phagocytosis? Phago means false. Cytosis means it will make a cyst-like. It will make a vacuole, where false vacuole where the food is taken in. So you can see here, amoeba is generating whenever any food particle is approaching nearby amoeba. So the red color food particle is there. When the food particle approaches nearby the amoeba, it will start engulfing it. It will start taking it by making a false foot-like structure. Here it is increasing its body. That is, a foot is generated to enclose the organism. Okay, that we call pseudopodia. What is pseudopodia? Podia means leg. Pseudo means false. False leg-like, false foot-like structure. So podia means foot, false foot. So here a false foot-like structure will generate around the food particle, and finally the tips will enclose. So once the tip will enclose, it is called food vacuole. So a vacuole is created, empty space is created, which is filled with the enzyme. Okay, lysozyme is there. So once if the enzyme is there, it will make the organism, make the food particle to digest. Once the food particle is digested, it will absorb it. After absorption, the waste is given out. That is, again it will open its pseudopodia and waste is thrown out. Vacuole will blast and food is thrown out, waste is thrown out. So this is how the process is taken. So how you are going to write? The first step is the mode of nutrition in amoeba is holozoic. First one, amoeba is a unicellular organism. It obtained its food by phagocytosis. Its mode of nutrition is holozoic. Now what is holozoic mode of nutrition? Holozoic means when organism takes the food and then food is taken as a part or whole. So they will take either some part or complete organism is taken. Then it is digested, and digested food is absorbed. When digestion and absorption is done, we call it as holozoic. Amoeba, human beings comes under holozoic mode of nutrition. Now after holozoic, so here 3 points we covered. Amoeba is a unicellular organism. It obtained its food by phagocytosis. Its mode of nutrition is holozoic. Then there are 5 steps for obtaining the food. So here steps of nutrition. First one is ingestion. Ingestion means taking in food. Whenever any food particle approaches nearby amoeba, it will engulf it by making a pseudopodia. That is ingestion. After ingestion in the food vacuole, food is being digested by using digestive enzymes. That comes under digestion. First step is ingestion, taking in food. Second one, digestion, that is digesting the food by using digestive juices. Third step, absorption. Then the digested food is absorbed. After absorption, third step, assimilation. Whatever they absorb, that they will assimilate, utilize for their body's growth. Okay, for its metabolic activity, it is going to use that we call assimilation. After assimilation, the last steps comes egestion, that the blasting of the pseudopodia and that food vacuole and throwing out waste. That process is called egestion. So these steps you need to cover for digestion amoeba. Instead of amoeba, they can ask paramecium. So paramecium, you need to draw a slipper-like structure. The difference between amoeba and paramecium, amoeba is getting its food by forming pseudopodia. But in paramecium, you need to write like it has cilia. It will vibrate the cilia to make the food particle to reach at the site where the food can be taken. So it is having a particular site from where it will take in food. So that only the difference. Rest of all the points you will write like same as for the amoeba. Ingestion, then digestion, then absorption, assimilation, egestion. Rest of all the things are same. So this is what we completed nutrition. So when we came across heterotrophic, I forgot to explain. Heterotrophic mode of nutrition, there are three different ways. The first one, in heterotrophic nutrition, the first one is holozoic mode of nutrition. Second one, so yeah, holozoic I explained you. Holozoic where the food is taken and then it is digested and absorbed. That is holozoic. Then parasitic organism will depend on any other organism or we can say host and it will get food from that. So parasite can be partial parasite or total parasite. Then the next one is symbiotic relationship. Symbiosis. Symbiosis when two organisms are mutually depending on each other for the nutrition, we call it as symbiosis or symbiotic nutrition. Where lichens comes under this. So here the fungus and algae both are having symbiotic relationship. Fungus is providing food whereas the algae is providing shelter to the fungus. Both of them are benefiting each other. Then the next one is okay, here the holozoic mode of nutrition, parasitic mode of nutrition, symbiotic nutrition, and the last one like fungus, where they're getting saprophytic, where they're getting their food from dead and decaying organisms, saprophytes. That is saprophytic mode of nutrition. That also you need to revise. So here we completed the types of nutrition. Then the next topic comes under is nutrition in human beings. So nutrition in human beings, that is also very simple topic. You need to write about the glands and where the different processes are taking place. So here you can see human digestive system. So what you are going to write about human digestive system. So let's move across human digestive system. So here human digestive system starts from mouth. So here food is taken in and then okay, now I'll be winding up my class. We'll continue with the class in the next session where I'll continue from the human digestive system.